Yo, tune in, don't miss Shaggy TV, hit 'em with the twist. Gang on deck, let's pick up the pace. Remote in hand, it's a cartoon race. Where are you, Shaggy TV? Catch the vibes, come roll with me. Jinkies, yeah, it's action-packed. Scooby snacks and a mystery crack. Flip the channel, hit the screen. Velma's got the clues, keep it clean. Fred in the whip, Daphne looking mean. Shaggy on the snacks, munching every scene. Zoinks, got ghosts in the room. Monsters lurk, smell the cartoon fumes. Fog thicker than my uncle's perfume. Solve it quick, then straight to the tune. Where are you, Shaggy TV? Catch the vibes, come roll with me. Jinkies, yeah, it's action-packed. Scooby snacks and a mystery crack. Spooky vibes with the laugh on top. Masked villains, every case non-stop. Trapdoor falls, but the plan don't flop. Cue the laugh track, tick tock, tick tock.
We are live on Shaggy TV right as the checkered flag waves there for warm-ups. I almost timed that perfectly. That was a pretty dang good job there. Sorry about the intros, though. I noticed last night it happened to me during the show that I did. A transition button on my Streamlabs wasn't working properly. That's why we only got half of the Senex intro. I kept trying to transition over to it. It wouldn't work for the first one, so I had to default click it, and it took where I was watching it on my other side screen. So my apologies for that, but hey, first car out on the track for qualifying, Rob Cassidy. Let's see what he's got here in the 68 machine. Once again, I thank the guys in Discord, but man, I'm still not feeling the best, to be honest with you, but voice is doing a little better here early in the morning. But I appreciate you guys letting me kind of split this thing up into two different shows there as Cassidy gets in the outside wall. Lap number 2 not going to count here for Cassidy is the Rhino in the 71 here. He's got a new... Do we have trading paints on? We should. Yeah, he's got a new paint this week. There we go. New paint for the 71 machine. I dig that. Scott Tice jumps up to the top in the 24. That's no surprise. We've seen that guy put in a lot of good times. Steve Bixler comes home P4. Dave Brill, lap 1, comes across P5. The 88 machine. He's been on some pretty good runs as of late. Does he turn it into a quicker lap? Does not. Pull her off the racetrack, and now we get the point leader here on the dirt side of things. He gets out to go play here. Let's see what the Flamin' Hot Cheeto gonna do. My apologies if iRacing stuff pops up here. I have trading paints above my screen. I cannot deal with that the whole time. There we go. Keith Kincaid, lap 1, puts himself P2. Let's see what lap 2 is gonna be for the Flamin' Hot Cheeto. Not gonna improve. Gonna stay P2, obviously. He's that blank lap. Doesn't want to update that for you guys. Ben Gunther comes across P11, that final lapping. Now, if we see anything, well, no, it's gonna be yellow. It wasn't quicker anyway. I was gonna say Ben kind of just out here practicing. He's already got his 2 laps in. Just kind of see what the racetrack has for us. I can't remember. Does it show us the time here? Does, and I'm pretty sure I do so many of these leagues. I don't think they advance qualifying. So let's go ahead. Let's pull that up. He just pulled off the track. Let's see how much time. It's like 50 seconds here. So let's go ahead. Let's keep rolling that. Now, player normal speed. You see the countdown timer. We'll get ready to take a look at the starting grid for heat race number 1. 12 guys should be 6 and 6, I would think. But, you know, iRacing doesn't always think the way I like to think. So we'll see. We'll see what is up here as we take a look at the starting grid whenever, the flagman, he wants his time. He's been waving for quite some time. Going to have to be a little tired after that one. Let's take a look here. Row 3, 4, heat race number 1 to the outside, the double 5 of Ben Gunther to the inside, the 19 of Russell Harold. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 88 of Dave Brill to the inside, the 75 of the Mayor, Steve Bixler. Row 1 for heat race number 1 at the Cedar Lake Speedway to the top shelf, the 71 of the Rhino, Chris Reinold, and starting on the pole, the 24. Mr. Always Playing Nice, Scotty Tice. See if the new paint job here, brings the Rhino back to form. It's been a tough couple races there for the Rhino and that Glenn Steyer's machine. Glenn may have been tired of flipping the bill here. He may have told him, you're back in the old ride. I don't know what goes on up there in Canada. I got enough trouble knowing what's going on down here in the States. This is one of those neat race cars, too. You see the pace truck pulls off. He's driving as quick as he can, hoping the boys don't run in the back of him as the green flag waves. We are underway. 10 laps to play. Heat race number 1. Little contact there right away for third. The Mayor going to muscle up the 88 machine, and Dave Brill going to have to put his head down, go back to work here, man. Not the way you want to start out your night. If you're the 88, especially on a reset racetrack, it's going to be difficult to make this thing too groove here in the heat race. Got to put the head down, got to go to work, and the Rhino losing touch here with the 24 of Scott Tice. Scott, smooth as silk rolling around here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. I mean, look at that thing. A little yaw coming off the corner. But other than that, I mean, she is all but set straight. I mean, the sails are dropped. He is gone in the wind. And Steve Bixler, he's been able to take advantage of that early contact for P3 and kind of go on a little hunt here as well. Steve fishing right behind the 71 of the Rhino as we come to the cross flags this time halfway, 5 laps to play. Scott Tice rolling around is your leader. Russell Harold back here in 5th, and Ben Gunther all by his lonesome where I'd be back there in 6th. Going on a nice little Sunday drive here as the Mayor is the only one who really has, controls anybody's fate here. He's a little deep. I mean, you can't, attempt to necessarily make a successful pass right now, but you can sure as hell try to make a pass, especially as the 71 slips up off a 2. But Steve tries to crank her down to the bottom of the racetrack. He loses the rear end, and now with 2 laps to go, got to be all but perfect if you're this 75. If you want to go up here and make the move on the 71, and Scott Tice says, I don't care what you do. There's a white flag going to wave, son. I got 1 lap to go. I'm going to win heat race number 1. Great start for the 24 machine, who's got half a lap left to play at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Rolls it into 3. Off of turn number 4. Checkered flag waves. Give to the 24. Reinold, Bixler, Brill, Harold, and Gunther round out your field. Now we'll get ready to take a look at heat race number 2. Maybe? Yes? Row 3 to the outside, the 37 of Tim Chapman to the inside, the 68 of the boss man, Rob Cassidy. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 87 of the General, Andy Patton to the inside, the 27 of Michael Lemanchik. Row 1 for heat race number 1 to the outside, the 04 of Greg Parmalee, and starting on the pole, the 17 of the Flamin' Hot Cheeto, Keith Kincaid. Well, you hear me kind of pausing there. I'm just trying to think of something smart ass to say. It's pretty unbelievable. Keith Kincaid. I mean, and you know, I don't think Keith would take offense to this, but he does not run a lot of official races. I've never really noticed his dirt I rating. Not that great, and he is good. If I had to race against him in a late model, I don't know if I could beat him. And I'm okay in these things, you know. I'm normally a top 5 and top 10 car guaranteed in a pretty big field. I know how to wheel these things. But man, Keith, you need to get this guy running some official races. Boy, we'll have him 3-4K in no time as the green pace truck pulls off, green flags high. She's ready to fly. We got 10 laps to play in the clay. Heat race number 2 is underway. Oh, we got Daniel George out there tuning in on a Sunday morning. What's up, Danny? This is a replay. I was supposed to do this Wednesday night. I was feeling under the weather, as you guys know. I haven't been that great this week, but Keith Kincaid out front. I'm not trying to, no offense, boys, but trying to give it all I got. Got a big show here this afternoon, too, so gotta pull the reins in on this one as Keith rolling that bottom, feeling comfortable. Lemanchik there in 3rd, Andy Patton in 4th, Cassidy in 5th, and Tim Chapman there in the 37. Keeping the family name going, rolling around in the back here. I mean, like I say, normally where I'm at, now in the late models, maybe something a little different here. Maybe I'd be a little closer to the front. Who knows? You know, I don't get that chance to flex on the old man here, but 6 laps to play. The Flamin' Hot Cheeto continues to lead the way. Oh, we got a battle there. Andy Patton on the inside had a little hiccup. Now the boss man trying to top rope it here. Tippy-toeing on the outside. Couldn't do it. Jumped the cushion. The 87 of Andy Patton holds on to P3 with 4 laps to go as the Flamin' Hot Cheeto. He's already entering turn 3 here. As you see those guys in the back half of your screen, about half a track behind Keith Kincaid. Not messing around here today at the Cedar Lake Speedway, and either is Greg Parmley, doing a good job of keeping in tow. Not really letting that guy walk away here. And you know, we're to the point right now, the track, you can see it's starting to shine up a little bit, but still pro late models, you probably want to keep that thing dang near hammered down. You know, rolling that cushion. Now 3 and 4, maybe you don't drive it in hammer down. You want to slide up. Don't want to lose the rear end over the slick on entry, but it's still a pretty fast racetrack as the white flag waves. Half a lap to play here. Keith Kincaid, all in his own area code, takes the checkered flag here to win heat race number 2, followed by Parmalee, Lemanchik, Patton, Cassidy. Gonna hold off Chapman for 5th. And, well, there you go. Tim rounds out the field. Let's see here. Got a little bit of that warm time. So I will fast forward, you know, skip through some of this, but there is some stuff that I want to fish around, move. Just give me a second. Get my grid music ready. That kind of BS nonsense. All right, so saying hello, Father, that is maybe awesome, but I tell you guys, I'm an open man. You know, I have my medical card. I like to smoke weed. You know, obviously legal. I vape it. But who is... Okay, wait. Rap Shot talking to Daniel George. Okay. I'm confused. I thought you were calling me your father. I mean, you know, I may have partaken in some activities early in the morning, and, you know, that always hits you a little different. You know, first thing in the morning. It's like that shower beer, you know, back in the day when, you know, you're getting in the shower, you had to crack open that can and have yourself a nice shower beer, you know, go back to your 20s. Oh, yeah, both Daniels are in here. And we got, wait, so Rap Shot calling one of you, oh, I can't handle this early. I mean, mind blown. It is nice seeing Daniel out there, though, because you didn't even have to say, anything. I just see it. Yeah, see, shower beer and a good shower bolt. See, now they have the shower vapes. You know, I don't have to worry about it getting wet in there. You know. Yeah, man, I haven't had a good shower beer in quite some time. I mean, it had to be 10 years at least. Got me itching for one, man. Oh, okay. And the other Daniel are one and the same. There we go. There we go. Oh, what kind of wrap you putting on, Daniel? I like to mess around with wraps. They're definitely. Now I don't get as much time, you know, because I broadcast almost all the time. I don't get to race a lot anymore, man, unless like there's some charity stuff going on, you know, every now and then I'll kind of tank broadcast to go run a charity race at Coast to Coast or something. But this winter, I didn't even really talk to you guys about it. I don't think we have a race. December, I guess it would be 8th or 10th. I can't ever remember, but I got a pretty good announcing gig coming up for the E-Dirt Car Series. That's like one of the biggest dirt car series on dirt and iRacing. Oh, dude, I would love for you to... Anybody can put my logo on their cars. I would absolutely love that. That would be awesome. I would appreciate the heck out of that, Daniel. Yeah, where was I can't even remember where I was going with that before I read that. What I was about to say. Oh, yeah, the E-Dirt car. That's what I was talking about. So, these guys, this may be the first they're hearing it. And I don't mean to bail on them. I know they're cool with me doing it on replay, but I could not say no to this. There's a legit chance that it gets to go on Dirt Vision because, well, as you know, they're doing the Pro Series stuff on iRacing and Dirt Vision, and this is through Dirt Car. So this is like a big test for me as a broadcaster. Hopefully they like me and maybe can pull me into some iRacing stuff after this. But, yeah, that's a pretty big gig coming up for me in like 3 weeks. It'll be 3 Wednesdays from now that I'll be busy. I'm busy Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for that. So I've already had to bail on the other Tuesday. I messaged them. I kind of forgot to message you guys. You guys have been so good to me and lenient that I leaned on that a little too hard. That was rude of me, but I will shoot a message in the Discord about that. I didn't get a chance to look at the schedule to see if we were racing that day, but let me go ahead. Let me get this music queued up here. I talked this whole time. I didn't advance any of it. Let's get ready to take a look at our starting grid here. For your A main at the Cedar Lake Speedway is 12 drivers. Get set to make the call. Let's see who is going to bring home the checkered flag here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. As your starting lineup looks a little something like this. Row 6 to the outside, the 37 of Tim Chapman. To the inside, the double 5 of Ben Gunther. Row 5 to the top shelf, the 68 of the boss man, Rob Cassidy. To the inside, the 19 of Russell Harrell. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 87 of the General, Andy Patton. To the inside, the 88 of Dave Brill. Row 3 to the outside, the 27 of Michael LeManchik. To the inside, the 75 of the Mayor, Steve Bixler. Row 2 to the outside, the 04 of Greg Parmalee. To the inside, the 71 of the Rhino, Chris Reinold. Row 1 for your Senex Short Track Championship Series Pro Late Model A main at the Cedar Lake Speedway. To the outside, your point leader, the man at the top, the 17 of the Flamin' Hot Cheeto, Keith Kincaid. And starting on the pole, the 24 of Scott Tice. One more lap. Rolling around till we get ready to go play. And Daniel, that is totally fine. Shoot me a message. I'll send you one over. I got one of me sitting in the van smoking a joint. And I got one that my man over here, Kyle, at MRL made for me. A little more professional one. As we got the green flag high. She is ready to fly. 35 laps to play in the clay as the 24 drops the hammer. We're underway. Good jump there for Scott Tice. Now, the Flamin' Hot Cheeto does a little over-under. He gets to the bottom. He's trying to get it done here. Side by side. Off of 4. Scott Tice holds on. Oh, get the boxing gloves out. Rubbins racing, using the fenders. We got him here. The 17 now thinking about a slide job. He does. Sends it up in front of the 24. And Scotty got a little damage now on that left front. Shouldn't slow him down too much, but now he's got some on the right front. That is going to affect the speed of this race car. Chris Reinhold to the bottom, trying to think about a slide job. Can't do it. Leaves the lane open. Scotty trying to play nice on the outside, but boy, oh boy, he's been that little brother today. Been picked on here in the opening couple laps, and now got to stand up for himself a little bit. Reaffirms himself on the outside, gets the run together. And now he's trying to go make a run at the Flamin' Hot Cheeto as we watch Greg Parmley and Chris Reinhold think about duking it out. We're getting a yellow flag here, and I believe I could be wrong here. I think it will be this. Now, you guys know by now, I don't really get help with the software. Yeah, okay. So I didn't see any red that anyone wrecked. I saw somebody leaving the pits. So obviously, you know, it looks like to us. That's fine. That wouldn't be a caution in real life. He is sitting at the correct spot. But iRacing just notices, hey, a guy at the top of the screen, you know, top of the racetrack, not moving. And even, oh my gosh, I knew we'd do this eventually. I knew we would do this eventually. Now, we're going to hide those. Don't pay any attention to that. We have got to go back. I told you, I did it once last year. I clicked the live button after we go to replay. I am good at doing that. So here the caution flag waves. It should be back. My apologies. If that kind of... Oh, nope. We didn't go back far enough here. We didn't go back far enough. Wait, yeah, we did. Okay, so that was Cassidy pulling off the track. Okay, and then when he comes back on, all right, this is the right spot. Oh, dagnabbit, my apologies. I knew that was coming once. Hopefully I learned my lesson today. And now, because I did that, oh my gosh. Son of a biscuit. Let's see here. Can I make this say live session here? Let me see something here. So when I do it like that, and then I give us both a reset, I want to see if I can make that go away, that checkered flag on the top. That will bug the heck out of me. I mean, obviously not the end of the world if I don't. Nope. It, of course, didn't go away. All right. Sorry. We're going to have to deal with that checkered flag up top literally the whole... There's no way. There's no way we can do this. Okay, so let's think about this, Zach. Let's think about this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are gonna I will even talk through the whole time, but you don't want to stare at my screen. I can't do this. I know it's well, I guess it's really not professional either way, but we're not going to look at it like this. So we're going to do this. Hang on. Intermission here. We're going to click this button. I will stick around, keep talking. And well, I clicked the wrong one. I meant to click be right back here. We'll turn these engines off. I'm just going to reopen this replay, and we'll go back to it that way. I don't want to do it like that. So let's see something here. It'll just take a little bit of time to reload into the sim. I'm already reloading in. Just be patient. Sorry about that. But man, oh man, what a bummer. Just so, like, when you're the broadcaster, after you watch a replay, there's a big old red button that says live. It just encourages you to click it. Even when I have it on the replay function, it should change the color of that, not make it look as much of a bullseye for me. We're loading back in here, 25%, jumping to 40. The way I have my streaming set up, I don't actually show a screen, it's individual things, or I wouldn't mind showing you the loading up process, but that's not the way I have iRacing linked to my streaming software, so should be hearing cars coming back in now, as this will be their practice session. Okay, this is perfect. All right, we'll go back to iRacing here, and now we will find Keith. This is the way we'll cheat this. We'll go to the feature. And let's go to that lap right there. Because we'll get a caution flag here. We'll get a caution flag here. And we are back. We are back. Everything all fine here. We'll get said caution. Yeah, okay. There's Rob pulling up on the outside. Okay, all right. We're back. No more live button. Woo! All righty. So now we kind of saw how that happened. We're not gonna, we won't rewind to watch Rob there on the outside again. We won't tempt fate this time here. We'll do this, though. This is the golden way. I hate doing it under the replay. Bringing up the iRacing screen looks less real, but that's the golden way here. Under replays is we stack them up. Keith really slowing them down. Got to get them jumping here. Good restart for the 17. We're back underway. Boy, oh boy, they are mixed up, though, behind. Is now the Rhino taking a peek under the 24 once again. Scott Tice, can he hold him off? I don't know, Scotty. He's got his hands full. They're rubbing. Beating doors here going into one. Oh, man, you see Scotty hanging it on the outside. The Rhino now got to fall back in line, but he's going to take one more peek. And we've got a caution flag. The General, Andy Patton. If I can find Andy here, let's rewind. There we go. Didn't want to show him in the stationary camera. I saw a tire roll down the front stretch, so I'm guessing he clips the wall. Okay, yeah, he definitely clips the wall. He's in the wall right now, so right front already broken. Then he gets in the wall again, and it just comes more apart there for the 87. And I kid you not, I almost just clicked live again. There's that tire that I said I saw. And here's that caution flag that came out. And we are back under caution here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. And yeah, these guys normally in the dirt side, it's always some pretty good action if you want the truth. I mean, obviously, a little different skill levels there are in every league, but man, you get the Rhino up there playing with Tyson, Keith Kincaid. That's a fun show. Dave Brilla, he's another one who hasn't necessarily been able to string together, the solid ones in a row, but he is always quick. And man, he's a couple mistakes away from, maybe having a win or two this season. So you gotta keep an eye out on Dave Brill and Scott Tice. He went down pit road. He must have had enough damage on that 24. I told you. I mean, it will affect it a little bit. Yeah, see, that would work great, Daniel, if the button that I'm talking about, you know, wasn't on a computer screen. And so it's really interesting. I should actually find a way to show you that screen. I'll show you what my live timing looks like and kind of what it's like from a broadcaster perspective one time. I get a list of all your names on a live leaderboard, kind of jumping around, and then I have buttons underneath it with different cameras and stuff like that, but that's kind of the control panel. But as I scroll around, the button location moves as the green flag waves. We are back underway. Keith Kincaid right away. We want the tight roping on that outside. That shows you maybe want to roll that middle outside into turn one. If before he's even got the thing wound up to speed here, he already jumps to the outside. That says a lot about where this racetrack's at. Maybe where you need to get this thing if you want to make some moves is, oh boy, the 19 of Russell Harold. He gets moved a little bit. He's able to rope it back in, and Dave Brill somehow already up on that podium. Dave on the move in that 88 machine. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. This guy's been pretty quick, man. He's been figuring out these late models. And we get another caution flag. Let's see who I got there. Was it Ben Gunther? I'm afraid to click those red buttons. Kind of mess up where we're at. So no, it was not. Was that the 37 of Tim Chapman? It was. So he's just going to get loose here. You know, you can see right there through the middle. And, you know, it's tough, especially for, you know, my dad may get pissed at me for saying this. My dad raced in real life, you know, rear-wheel drive. He knows what to do. But the big difference is, and I would say it's the biggest probably trouble that I see a lot of, you know, people have. And I don't mean this the wrong way. We are an older league here, gentlemen. But, you know, my generation and younger, man, we grew up, you know, on these things. You don't necessarily have the feel for the race car. You know, you grow, you kind of just got to look for clues and signs or, you know, sounds. And you kind of know, you can see he gasses it up too hard. Rear end's going to go around, and he's doing that in the slick. And real life, you know, my dad in the race car, he can feel that. He's not going to do that. I watched him race plenty of times. That's just not something he does. But when you're just not used to that sensation, you know, you're not used to running these on the dirt here in iRacing. I mean, it's real easy. You get on that loud pedal a little too much. And that's what we see. 37 just jumps around. And Lemanchik, he got a pretty big piece of that as well. Yeah, and then he gets another big piece. I assume something on that was broke after the contact, and then he drove it in there a little deep. That's why I knew I was going to go look at him anyways, because it was a pretty big shot there he took from the 37 as he was coming back up the racetrack. So just, you know, things that obviously if you're, you know, driving around on a wet road, and unless you're hammered drunk, you know, you feel that thing. You most people know how to, you know, kind of throttle it, or lift off the throttle and kind of let it catch itself, you know, just let the wheel kind of come back to you. But on this, and, you know, once again, I'll pick, not picking on my dad, but I mean, he's even got, he's not like, you know, on a motion rig or anything, but I mean, he's on the DD2 Fanatec. He's got him and I both have the nice pedals, so you can kind of feel vibrations, but it's something that you've got to train yourself to. And, you know, really until that thing's straight on the straightaway, you know, you're never really hammered down in these things as you're driving through that shine. If you're where the 88 is right now, hammer down. If you're where the 04 is, maybe not. Unless you can get that right rear up in the tack. You got to kind of be able to play with the car and adjust on the fly. As the green flag waves, we are back underway. Flaming Hot Cheeto with another good jump there. Greg Parmalee with a good run on the outside, and he takes P3 back from the 88 of Dave Brill. And there we go. Yeah, see, Daniel, yeah, you got a big learning curve for the iRacing one. And it's kind of, yeah, it's, I mean, how long have you been doing it? What's the feel like? It's going to be different for everybody. And Scott Tice puts himself back inside of the top five, able to work around Dave Brill. Plenty of laps here for the 24 to go up and get that thing back on the podium, especially if Greg and the Rhino continue to race as hard as they are. You see Greg, he got really loose off of 4. And now, man, oh man, Scott Ticey's right there. Does he get an over-under? I thought maybe he was going to cut to the bottom going down the front stretch. Think about a slide job. Does he do it through 3? Not going to have the run off of 2. Can't do it. And right now, front 3 strung out single file is pretty much single file all throughout the racetrack. Battle on, though, for third here. Let's see what we got. Parmalee drives it in, loses the rear end a little in the center. The 24 gets a run, but when he tried to cut it underneath, you see he's on the slip and slide. And, man, just not where you want to be if you're Tice. You are trying to work it. You're trying to play nice here, but, you know, man, running out of options if you're the 24 machine as we roll off of 4. We've got 16 laps to go. The Flamin' Hot Cheeto closing in on lap traffic here. Gunther holding his line on the outside, running where he's comfy. Now Keith, he's got to go somewhere where the 55's not. Goes to the bottom. The Rhino trying to stick his horn underneath. He gets in there as well. Oh, and we got some contact for third and fourth. Parmalee, Tice. Oh, no! Oh, no! And we're not going to get a caution flag the way they wrecked. They make contact, go down pit road. And, man, those guys just fighting over the same real estate, Parmalee and Tice. Oh, boy. That moves Dave Brill up inside of that top 3. Well, does it? So here comes the general, Andy Patton. Side by side, we were 3 wide with the lap car. The general gives him plenty of room. He's trying to hike it down on the bottom, and here comes the mayor. The mayor out of Clarence, Iowa. Tight-roping it on the outside. Right now, 5th, looking for a little 2-for-1 discount here. I don't know if the mayor card's going to work in Wisconsin. Oh, it's the 37 and the 27 bring out the caution flag. I was wondering why we saw the leaderboard jumping around there. It had Dave Brill at the top real quick. Oh, and this is okay. So I remember it's another one. Now, obviously, this I think he apologized to Michael. May mean nothing. I remember my dad telling me this. Now I pieced it together. He'd got some damage. He had pulled to the inside, and well, I told him next time he knows now. You just got a toe on the inside, and take that thing back to pit road. But instead, he's trying to make the move to get onto pit road, and well, Michael Lemanchik, he's coming, and he is coming quick, and he pays the ultimate price for that in the 27 machine. And like I say, that's not going to make him feel any better now. But man, my dad felt guilty about that one. He called me almost immediately after that, say how bad he felt. But hey, that's why we're here. We're here to learn. This is a big, this league, I told you, wide range of skill here. And everybody very friendly, and I think they all understand, the mission is just to try to get these things as fast as we can and try to compete. As the green flag waves, we're back underway. 9 laps to play at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Down to 6 cars on the lead lap. Russell Harold currently the last one on the lead lap. Andy Patton trying to go back to work to get on that podium. And Andy, man, he's wanting to run that half a lane lower, but you can just see the grip isn't there. The 88 absolutely took off the top of 2. Now he clips the wall, though, coming off of 4, and that breathes a little bit of life back into the 87. Maybe some false hope because he goes down to the bottom. And now the mayor, Steve Bixler, he is trying to run him back down. Look at that cut down line off of 4. Now he drives it in a little deep, though, uses that wall to his advantage. And let's see, man, the mayor, he may not be done. Battle, maybe brewing here for the lead is the Rhino. He's getting close enough to wedge that horn in there. It would take a big send. But as we saw, Keith, in the opening laps, you know, you had to get the elbows out with Tice. That's something that you just got to do sometimes. And if you're the 71, you saw that. You know, you got to take note. You got to be willing to make the move here. Clips the wall, though, off of 4, and that may be all she wrote for the 71. The Rhino now sees the gap extend to over half a second, and man, with 2 laps to go, that's going to be all she wrote. Unless Keith makes a mistake here. He has got that thing humming, and that mistake is going to cost the Rhino his shot at a win as we see the white flag wave. 1 lap to play. The Flamin' Hot Cheeto of Keith Kincaid trying to bring home another checkered flag here. Final time off of 4. He sees it. Reach up and grab it, Keith. He brings it home. The Rhino P2 and Dave Brill bringing home 3rd at the line. Andy Patton just edged out by the mare when he gets into the wall, crossing the start-finish line. That's 4th and 5th. Russell Harold, Ben Gunther, Rob Cassidy, Scott Tice, Tim Chapman, Michael Amanchik, and Greg Parmalee. Round out the field is now we got to cheat again because we don't have that software to help us. We got to go back here to this longer green flag road. We'll slow her down. Yeah, you're exactly right, Daniel. 71 push there because he was reeling him in. That's why I love Keith. He knows that. I wasn't rooting against him by any means, but be nice to see a little bit of new blood on that top spot. He gave it his all, but couldn't get it done there. It was a great run though, and we'll see if we can get a word here with the 88 of Dave Brill. I think all 3 guys hung out. Yeah, they did. Cool deal. Which is pretty awesome. Means a lot to me that these guys are willing to do that. Dave, Shaggy up here. First, I want to say thank you guys, like I say, for not being too upset with me about not doing it all Wednesday. Wasn't feeling that great, and feel like I could call it much better here this morning. And man, I didn't know you were going to finish on that podium, but I've been talking about you most of the race. I mean, you've been quick, and it just seems like at the end of the race, maybe the track will change a little bit or somebody gets their elbows out and rubs you in the wall, and you've been kind of getting screwed out of these regular podiums. But, man, you finally able to put it all together and finish P3, man. How are we feeling?
Well, you know what? We're feeling really good. We started a year late, missed a few races. I got a new chassis set up and trying to get everything tweaked and adjusted and getting the feel for the car and how the chassis is changing. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a learning curve and especially tonight with the track. The track started nice and wide. We could run, that mid groove really nice. Then as the track progressed, it was just a fine cushion up on top of that track that you could get traction on. So yeah, but it's been awesome. So I'm, great bunch of guys to race with and we're just progressing as we go along here.
Yeah, and you nailed so many things there that I kind of wanted to touch on. I mean, first off, we'll use the last word, use progression, and you can see it in you there. You talked about that thin cushion at the end. Obviously, the guys in front of you, they've been doing that all season, but you and a couple other guys, we've been kind of rolling down, playing it safe, rolling the middle there, that later half of the race, and then this one. We watched you, rope it up top pretty much the whole way, and that is not easy to do. Do you think, that's just coming the more track time, the more confidence you get? I mean, people talking on my side in the chat, not on, your side. They were watching on my channel, but dude, this track, I've done it a lot this week, man. This has been giving people fits, and you were running up top there, no problem. I mean, is that just, like I say, the raise in confidence? I mean, you're driving like a new guy out there.
Yeah, we're feeling it. This track definitely you've got to put it. You just got to hang it out. Just get up there and like say changing the entry speeds, not overdriving that corner. That seemed to be trying to. Like I was telling the guys like last week, it's just you have such a short window to get that car to do what you want it to do in a 35 lap period, and you really have to figure out that track and that groove really quickly to get up there, up to the front. So yeah, we just hung it out on the edge slowed our entry down a little bit, got that at apex, and once you're at the apex, you get the throttle on and away you go. But yeah, it's like, and I think Patton was behind me. He was trying to get around me on the bottom side, and there's just no traction down there. I tried it a few times, and it just wasn't there. So yeah, we just put it on the edge, put it, hanging out on the edge, and let it run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to give away Andy's game plan, but I call a lot of his races, and he commits to that bottom. Him and another guy like Terry Landis, I've been trying to pull him over here too. He's an older guy. Sure. They both run the bottom, and they are bottom feeders, man. But you proved it. Outside's where you needed to be. You were walking that tightrope. Not easy, man. And you started this thing 9th, finished in 3rd, up 6 spots. That is a hell of a run, Dave. Congratulations. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, Shag. Yeah, really appreciate what you do, and probably got to give a big shout out to my family too. They're sitting out there watching, and supporting me in this whole crazy thing that I do. So yeah, we got Jason Ledger and Madden Hendricks. Those guys are always on the video and watching what's going on. So I appreciate what you do, and I appreciate all the guys that we race with here. They're great bunch of guys, and respectful all the way around, and that's a lot of fun to race with the guys that respect not only the race but the drivers as well. So yeah, thanks, Shag. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, enough can't be said about that, because obviously people are going to make mistakes, Dave, but the respect in this level is, if nobody's going to beat you down if you make a mistake. They're just there to pick you back up and make you better. I love doing this, and I love talking to you guys every week. Can't wait to do it again next week, Dave. Good luck, brother.
Yeah, Shaggy, appreciate it, man. She's a tough haul. There's a lot of heavy hitters in this group, but we'll keep on driving on, keep on keeping on.
Well, good luck, man. Hopefully I'm talking to you Wednesday.
Sounds good, Shaggy. You have a good night.
Dave Brill bringing home P3. Now we're going to talk to the man who brought home P2, and I'll tell you, I don't mean to rub salt in the wound here, Rhino, but I think we maybe had a win here. We didn't get in that wall with 3 laps to go. You were quick, man. Just a little too high coming out of 4. And boy, oh boy, I know that couldn't have felt good, but at the same time, it's got to feel good because, dude, you were running him down. You were quick at the end, Chris. That can't be denied.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing. I got in there too hard, and I was saying to Keith, if you just got that right rear just a little too far up into the cushion, it just sucked you in. And then as soon as I tapped the wall with the rear end, it sucked the front end in, and then the steering was really no good for the rest of the race, but I was still able to hold on.
That's okay. That is what I was going to ask you next, because, I was telling Dave there, I've announced a lot of races here this week. I think this is the 3rd one. And I'm telling you, every time I saw somebody kiss that front stretch wall, as soon as the right front would get yanked up in there, you had the best luck out of anyone. I was watching them hit the tires. They'd think that right front would work, and you'd just slam into that pit road entrance. So, how did you kind of expect, something to be a little wrong? So did you take it easy into one, or did you just kind of get lucky with it?
I got lucky. I got lucky because, like I said, it was, I had hit the wall a second time after that. And I was like, okay, hold on. I need to reapproach this because it's just, something's not right in the front end. And thank God we only had a handful of laps left.
Well, obviously you can't take it back. You can't go get the checkered flag here, but I'm a racer too. And when I do stuff like that, if I can tail with a guy who's really fast, and not only tailing, run him down, Chris, that gives me a new type of confidence. So really, when you roll into the race tomorrow night, man, how are we feeling? You got to feel like a dog tomorrow, right?
I'm not bad at Knoxville, and the last Knoxville race, we had a pretty close race there, so I'm ready for it. I'm gonna try and debut a new paint scheme for that race, but I'm having some problems with trading paints, and that's why you see the different paint scheme tonight, because it defaulted back to one of my first ones.
Oh yeah, dude, trading paint. So that was another thing with iRacing. So go in there and remove your original paint without the sim stamp number. If you have the sim stamp number paint in there, it's going to override the custom number paint. It's a problem I was having a couple weeks ago. So yeah, you got to go in there and remove the old one and then do the custom number paint with nothing on the base one. It's really weird now.
Yeah, like it was working flawless up until 2 days ago, and then I went to go update it or try and update a paint scheme, and I was like, "Why is this not loading?" And I don't know. Well, we'll get her figured out.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got the most important part figured out, man. You had a lot of speed tonight, and we're watching you now. Even at that point, the 55 kind of obviously he's trying to get out of your way, but didn't do you many favors there. You had to get him off the corner, and you were still able to run down the leader. That is really impressive, Chris. I'm looking forward to see what you got at Knoxville tomorrow night. Good luck, brother. But do you got anybody you want to thank on the good run here at Cedar Lake?
Yeah, I'm gonna thank Keith for everything that he's doing for the league, and he's one of I like running with him because you're only as good as what you run with, and like I mean he's a class A guy, and trying to run him down, and like I mean it's showing. Like I mean I'm working, I'm getting better. I'll get him one of these days.
Yeah, and that it's funny because I told you the guys that they're chatting it up on my side. Some of the guys I race with, and literally right before you said that, man, Daniel George goes, "You learn so much chasing someone down that's genuinely faster than you," and it really, I mean, that's the place to be. And you learn the tips, you learn the tricks, and maybe you bring some of your own tricks to the table that Keith didn't know about. Man,
Well,
watch
that's
it.
the thing. Keith said to me, it's a feather in my cap that Keith said to me, "What were you doing that I was doing differently?"
Yeah,
Because
that's
like I mean, he knew I was running him down, and I was just like I mean, he's always given me advice, and I told him exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the way it goes, man. You're never that top dog to start off with, and I mean that's definitely, like I say, I like to talk about. I'm pretty good in a sprint car, man. That's because I got my butt kicked by a kid named Blake Chapman week after week after week. Not even related to me. I couldn't take credit for it being a cousin, and you
wasn't even in the genes.
No, it wasn't even in the genes. And I mean, you learn so much running behind those guys that really, I credited Dave with it. But man, those last, 6-7 laps before you clip the wall, quickest car on the racetrack by far, Chris. And man, you're really learning it. And obviously this season we're over halfway. Keith, unless he has some bad runs, he's got this thing locked up. But man, next season, dude, you're showing you're gonna be a contender. Keith ain't gonna be able to just walk away with this one. Hell of a job, man. And did I already ask you if you got anybody you want to thank? I think I did.
Yeah, I thank Keith.
All right, yeah, there we go. Well, Chris, hopefully, you keep this momentum rolling. I'm talking to you again Wednesday. Good luck, brother.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
And now we'll bring up as I choke on my own spit there. Jesus. We made this guy wait long enough. Sorry there, Keith. I was choking as I sent the rhino down. Boy, oh boy, man. You're able to pick up another one, but I'm sure, you watched the same thing I did. You heard me talk to those guys. Didn't go as easy there for you as I maybe thought it was gonna. Chris was quick at the end, clips that wall though, helps you walk away. And well, really, I mean, I had mentioned lap cars not doing him a favor. Didn't do you much of a favor either. You didn't know where to go when you get up behind that 68 machine, but man, it all ended up working out. You bring home the checkered flag. How we feeling?
Yeah, we ended up bringing it home. Good race, like you said. Chris was really fast there at the end, and started driving a little defensive myself, driving in a little harder than I needed to, just to prevent him to get the slider on me, and it kind of hurt me off. Luckily he tapped out there at the end and gave us a little bit of breathing room. But just glad to bring it home at the top step.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, it's tough to describe, Keith. I know what you're saying, but, for the people out there listening, and I mean, we always talk about maybe not so much in dirt racing, but, you see it on the asphalt slide, slow in, fast out. Same thing applies on the dirt. We just don't necessarily say it like that. But, when you got to drive in deeper to play that defense, how much harder is it, to nail that corner exit, make sure you're straight, make sure the tires aren't slipping in the middle of the corner? I mean, it really changes everything, when you got to attack the entry a lot harder.
Exactly. It made it super difficult too. This track is, the cushion up there gets so thin. If you miss it coming off, especially coming off 3 and 4, that wall, it jumps out on you quick. And it was a little nerve wracking. Just luckily to bring it home.
Now, obviously, you getting these wins, that's become quite the regular thing. So I got to mix it up a little bit here with this question, because Chris, drivers don't forget. You know, he's feeling good after hanging with you tonight. And he said the last time you guys were at Knoxville, he gave you a pretty good run, man. So how excited are you for tomorrow night? I mean, Knoxville, that is a quick track, lots of room for slide jobs. I mean, that should be one heck of a race tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We've raced there twice. We ran there last season, and we ran into a little bit of a fuel issue where a lot of us ran out of fuel there on the last lap. So we made adjustment on our league setup, so we shouldn't have that issue. And then we had a preseason race there this year and ran extremely well. So I'm really looking forward to Knoxville. I really like that track. Makes for some good racing.
Well, hey, heck of a run, Keith. Man, you've collecting these dirt things. Like I say, that is becoming quite the, if you could have trophies for all these, man, you'd have to buy a house just to store the trophies for these things. I mean, you have been collecting them, but it is interesting to see now, I always give you credit for it. And, well, I mean, even Chris thanked you in his interview. I mean, you are not a sealed safe. Any knowledge that you have, you're willing to kind of give out to other guys to make them quick. And the fact that you still collect these things, it's getting a little harder for you giving out your information. But, man, oh, man, it says a lot about you, Keith. And, another thing, you may have heard me pick on you about that I rating. You are not a 1400 I rating. We need to make you run some more official dirt races. Get that I rating what it should be. You're better than me on the dirt side. That thing should be up at 4K.
Yeah, Shaggy, I think I've only ran like maybe 3 official dirt races since I started back iRacing in November of last year. Because back, decade or so ago when I did do a little bit of iRacing, there was no dirt. So this is kind of all new to me. I need to get out there and do some more official racing. But man, the racing's so great in this league. It's hard for me to go do anything else.
Well, it's fun watching you come out here and go play. You're really good at what you do, Keith. And like I say, man, not only are you putting on the show, but you're teaching these guys as well. And, man, that says a hell of a lot about you. Congratulations on the big run, man, and all you do for this league. You got anybody you want to thank?
Thank you, Shaggy. I want to thank you for the broadcast. You do such a great job bringing the excitement to the races. My parents and family and friends that watch, they thoroughly enjoy it. So thank you for what you do for our league and getting this out there to the public.
Well, hey, my job's easy, man. You guys do the hard stuff. I just get to talk about it. I know as well as I do when you're playing defense on that kind of P2 and you're driving it in a little deep. That's a lot harder than what I'm sitting up here and doing, Keith. Hell of a job, man. Congrats on the big win. And hopefully I'm talking to you next Wednesday.
Thank you, Shaggy.
Keith Kincaid bringing home the win here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. And Daniel George, if you're over 50, the one who wrote that, this is I think it's 50 or 55 plus, these guys. So if you are in that age range, feel free, send me a message. I'll hook you up with it. These guys are looking for more guys. And like I say, it is like I'm willing to, invite people here, but make me look good. This is for instance, I wasn't picking on my dad there, and he had apologized. But when somebody does something like that, you don't mic up in this one and curse them out. This is really, I mean, yeah, obviously we're giving away a championship trophy. But this is for fun, man. This is about the experience. This is about getting better and just having a good time while you're getting better, not worried about getting belittled out here. So with that, we'll wrap it up here. I'm going to close this thing down, and I'm going to get ready to watch some football here on Sunday. At least the Redskins have a bye week, so we can't get our ass kicked this week. I am Zach Chapman saying so long, and have a good rest of your day. If you're interested, I'll be back up live here 4:30 for the Southern Racing Association Super Late Models. Have a good one.